Got my new glasses. I can
see.
I don't need them though. Not to.
From Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host.
Oh, you're not the host this week.
No, you are. You're back.
I'm back.
Yeah.
This is Kaz Kwiatkowski, City Councilman.
And John Steiner.
DJ Barker.
DJ.
I'm back as well.
How you feeling?
I feel better. I had like 6 colds since January because of the bronchitis. It keeps going into bronchitis.
Yeah, that bronchitis is bad.
And then it lives down in there, and then it just wants to keep giving.
My wife gets bronchitis once in a while.
Bronchitis can knock you out for a while.
That's why I went from being okay to sick to okay to sick. I never got fully better because it was all in my lungs.
And this weather surely isn't helping.
This does not help. Winter has returned.
Yeah, like we were just talking before, I had to put on an APB for my scraper, my ice.
Yeah, yes.
I came out this morning, the car was covered in ice. I was like, what is going on around here?
It took me at least 10 minutes to get mine defrosted.
Yeah, I believe it.
But, hey, it's opening day of baseball.
That's true.
And it's not unusual to have snow. And does this qualify for the mythical St. Patrick's Day snowstorm?
I had somebody else that told me that said it would. Spring can't get here until we have at least one more snow. So I'm going to count this one as the mythical St. Patrick's Day.
If it's within, 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Yeah, we'll give it a 3-week window.
Yeah,
we're flexible when it comes.
Geez, last week I was in Allentown. It was 60-some degrees.
Oh, really?
Month before, a couple weeks before that, I was in Minneapolis with my daughter. 60-some degrees. Wow. Here we go. Go ahead, caller.
Hello. I'm calling in regard to a problem at 722 Perry. There's a metal box hanging from a pole. It's not electric company, and it's not the telephone company. And we don't know who the box belongs to, but it's going to fall on somebody or smash a car.
It's on 722 Perry?
Yes.
My bet would be it could be the cable company.
I have to call them?
Well, no, you know what? Let me take care of it, okay?
Oh, that's wonderful.
They taught me a trick once, and I forgot. I honestly God, I forgot it. They say you're supposed to count the wires up, and you can tell. I think maybe John can call. He'll call in later, but I think the electric company's one level, telephone company's another level, and then your cable company's another level. So sometimes, if you know what level it's on, you can tell who's. Do you know what level it is, or?
No.
Okay, you don't live right there, or?
Yes.
Oh, if you can see the box, you can tell me if it's the first level wires, the second or third. That might help too, but I'll try to find out for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they told me one time when I called in. They said, "Do you know where the wire is hanging? Which one it is?" And sometimes they can tell roughly, whose responsibility that is.
Well, can't you usually tell cable wires usually where they enter?
Well, good way is to look at the wires leading from if you know your house, you can figure it out.
Yeah, that's how I figure it out. I just look to see which wires are going into where they shouldn't be going into.
I'll probably take it. I got to be down there for a funeral in about an hour, so I'll be in that area. I'll take a look.
Kaz, they're bringing some new jobs to Erie down at the
Yeah, actually, we were told about this a while back, but we were also told we had to keep it under the cover for a while because there were negotiations.
Right.
And it was good news then. And
right.
The people I've talked to out in the community that would normally be a lot of people that would be against it are actually kind of for it now.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw it on social media that Father Jerry and those guys were having a little meeting to meet with the owners, I'm like, oh no.
I don't think this sounds like the tire factory where these guys are already in town.
Yeah.
They just want to expand their footprint, and I don't think I've read social media, and some of these people are whack jobs. Okay, I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
They're discounting 50 jobs. Look, that's not perfect.
Right.
But at this point in time, we're not going to turn down 50 jobs.
No, absolutely not.
Because it can lead to more. I mean,
We have to stop turning down, Joe.
Well-
We had the whole Harbor Creek situation with the GEIDC.
I would have taken that, Harvard. 2 minutes, I would have taken it here.
Yep.
But, when you read about, I'll give you an example. Years ago, you read about Erie Resistor, which became Erie Tech. It started in guys' garages. It started with 100 people. They didn't become giants overnight.
Right.
They did GE. I mean, when, Edison and all those guys. And
What organization oversees that site over at the Hammer Mill site?
I think that's GE.
Is it GEIDC?
I'm not positive. I think that's it.
Well,
but you know what? Anything we get is a plus right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, you read I didn't see. I'm picking up my back news, but I hear once again Erie County's lost people.
Yeah, that we're losing
that's
population again.
That's not good,
Yeah, we have to, and then we have to just stop, surplusing them with immigrants. It's like we're losing population, but we'll take more Syrians and more Middle Eastern folks.
Well, the hope there is that they do for this country what the other immigrant groups did before them. I mean, when I was a kid, they were picking on. I can remember they picked on the Italians, the Polish. Then we were the newcomers. We were the ones that weren't highly educated. And they picked on. But those people all started. All those groups, the Irish before them, the Germans.
Right.
They all started business. This is our hope that as these people come here, they assimilate into America, that they become the new entrepreneurs.
Well, they get a lot of free taxes. That's why you see them all opening up.
I still want to have somebody on here to talk about whether, the truth in that.
Right.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, what happened to the reruns? I wanted to digest some of Andre Horton's ramping last week, and there was no rerun.
Well, I was going to get to that. I didn't want to go into my First Amendment thing yet, but little did I know that I came back to watch a show myself because let's put the record straight. First of all, Andre Horton approached me a long time ago about coming on the show.
Well, I have no qualms about that.
Yeah.
I think any elected official should be granted time on there if they want it.
And I've offered it to all my council members and everybody. Unfortunately for Mr. Horton right now, it fell during the time that we happen to be disagreeing with him on an issue. But it turned out that he had an opening, and unfortunately for me, I was going to be out of town on family business, and I want to thank John and for taking over. And if anybody's going to blame anybody, you can blame me. But I was really, no,
I thought you were going to throw. Here comes the bus, John.
I was really
Get under it.
No, I take blame. This is my show, okay? If anybody was, had their feathers ruffled, but I was a little disappointed that I found out the show was pulled.
I was looking for it because I wanted to digest some of it.
Me too.
And I wanted to digest some of the roar on the shore and all the good things that are coming to the city and the money coming in, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
There are people out there waiting. I know I take a little bit of time, but still, this babbling brook situation for 20 or 30 minutes, I could even see John, he was getting disgusted, and he knew the caller. Mm-hmm. But he had the gentleman enough to let him babble on.
Yeah, I'm disappointed they cut it because up to right this minute, John, I have not seen the show, and I can't critique it. I will say this: it's the second time this has happened.
Maybe the mayor got hot because all the time was given the county council, and they're giving so much money and everything else, but the city's giving just as much. The ridership is more in the city.
I have berated the county for the last 3 shows. I'm going to do it again today, later on, and I disagree with Mr. Horton. I will say this, and this is what really disturbs me. I know Andre. I don't agree with him on this issue, and he knows it. We have talked about it. My position is well known. I don't agree with the county. But Mr. Horton and I, a long time ago, took an oath to defend the Constitution of this United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and uphold the Constitution of this great country. We did that as veterans. I will honor I will honor him that way, that he has as much of his opinion as I do. We both put, how do you say, we put our life on the line for that tenant. And to have it taken away leads me to think this is little more than sometimes Radio Pravda. Okay, in the old days.
You know, and you have a tabloid that seems to be tending towards county council.
Absolutely, and I disagree with them too, you know, and they're wrong. But you know what? Just because one guy got on my show, one councilman, he disagreed with us, which, hey, you know, the people I talked to on the street, after hearing his comments, they back mine more. Now, that may or may not be the case, but you know what? I never agree with censorship. That's why we have a First Amendment. And to me, I was very, very disappointed. And to this date, I've only heard one person admit to it, but I imagine there was more involved. And I wish they would have, if anybody wants to disagree with me, you know, tell me to my face. Nobody even told me that this show was pulled until I found out 4 days later.
Well, the way things went down was that, you know, I offered to come and host a show while you're out of town so everybody can watch, and I ran into him at an event. So, you know, the first time I came on this show, I was by myself.
Well, I'd asked him before, just so you know.
Yeah, he did say that. And, you know, I came on the show myself, and nobody called because, you know, Kaz can, you know, get things done, you know, the normal people that call. So I just sat here and just basically talked for an hour. So, you know, the last couple times, the last time before this, I had one of the top folks from the United Way came on that I knew. And so, you know, I always try to bring somebody from the community with me that I know just to hear, you know, their side of the story of what's going on. You know, I knew we were coming on to talk about EMTA. And I wanted him to speak first to let him get his side of the story because, believe me, I had some things I wanted to say too. And then the callers started calling. The first 20 minutes of the show, Kaz, nobody called. So he was able to talk, and I wanted to hear what he had to say. So, you know, I could come back with our point of view from the city, you know, being, you know, this is a city show, right, what we thought about it. And it just didn't materialize, but we had our chance to speak because, you know, as we know, this show is for the people that call in. I mean, we say that all the time, I should say. So we'll take care of it today. So.
Yeah, go ahead, John. I don't want to pontificate.
You know, the Sweet Creepers did a great job this week because of the rain. But the dust storm was created by 1899, and it was creating it the very next day I talked to you at 8 a.m. in the morning. And boy, you couldn't believe it. I had to go out and get my car washed again. I think I'll send you the bill.
Well, actually, what I did, after you called me and I had another call from another person, I called our deputy public works director, and I told him, well, there were two things that bothered me. Once again, we had the same garbage problem, and this time it happened in front of my house. So I don't want to hear anybody say, well, you know, it was an old guy calling up that complained all the time. No, the gentleman was right, okay, because I saw it in front of my house. The same street sweeper came in front of my house, and you would have to get down your hands and knees, and you would literally have to search. If there was moisture there, it was very little. And I expressed this, that, you know, don't BS a councilman, and don't come from a councilman's house, because, you know, they tell me all the time people are watching. Well, you know what? It happened in front of me. And I wasn't pleased because I can remember when I was a kid, we used to put on our swim trunks because when the truck came by, you really got splashed.
Yeah, you got dirt and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I understand things happen, but it seems like, you know, I've been hearing about this for a while, and I would say something, but then I saw it firsthand. So, you know, if they want to call me a liar, so be it. But, you know, that's okay. But then I also checked the other thing. That figure they gave you, John, in the paper that you asked me about,
yeah,
that probably includes benefits.
Okay, but still.
But I'll check that. When they post it, I will get back with the salary. Well, yeah, I think it's, I don't want to quote it off because I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it definitely it sounds like they included the benefits, and I will bring that up to date when they post the job.
That's hard to believe
code
that much
enforcement?
benefits for a newcomer, but we will see.
Well, a lot of times it could be a $40,000 to $50,000 job.
It's probably 40.
And then when you factor in all the pension and the,
It's
An elected
1.3.
official's not getting that kind of money. So.
Oh, no.
All righty, I'll talk to you a little later.
hey, anything else, John?
Okay.
Okay,
And, you know, whenever you hire somebody,
Yeah.
you have to automatically add 1.33. That's automatic,
well, you know, when they talked about
at least.
this $270,000 figure at EMTA, and a good doctor said, you know, we can hire, you know, no, we can't even hire, when I say this, we can't even put one guy on the street, okay? Because it takes three policemen or 3 firemen or 3 of anybody,
Right.
because that's only an 8-hour shift. Okay, so if you want to put basically one more police officer on the street, you probably have to hire, when you think about days off, court appearances and all that, and maybe off time for getting hurt or something, it's more like 3.5 policemen. So when you read in the paper the president okayed, and, you know, that sounds like a great figure.
Right.
But, you know, it doesn't take the math that it would take 3 men or 3 women or whatever to equal one more on the street. So we can't even, at $270,000, when you think about their salary, the benefits, and the equipment for a fireman or a policeman, you're not even close to putting one guy on the
The
street.
salary is just a portion of it.
So if they want to do us a favor at the county, you know, do like Allentown and Bethlehem did. Give us some of that gambling money and earmark it for public safety. That's what they can do for us.
Well, I think that the county, you know, they make it look like, hey, well, we're doing Erie a favor by putting in your half of the money,
Right.
or you're kicking, or whatever you guys take out of your budget, you can keep that. Well, I got an idea for them.
Yeah.
Why don't they start like a pothole authority, okay, and help us fix the roads and the potholes, and help us pay for those?
There you go.
Because if you think about it, what are the busiest roads in Erie in the morning and at 4:30 in the afternoon? The Bayfront Highway. Because everybody's driving home to the county.
Well, that's a state now, takes that from us.
Okay, yeah, but it's people that are coming from the county.
Right.
Most of the people that work at Erie Insurance, Hammett,
Yeah.
all downtown, the banks, the lawyers, they get in their cars and they drive to the county.
Feel free to pop in there, DJ.
I got nothing. I'm just listening to all
But
these.
you know, here's my problem. They keep saying this $330,000, not counting the grant money. Okay, and we give $270. Okay, I went to school, $60,000 difference, but you didn't tell the whole story, as Paul Harvey would say. Of that $330,000, 40% of that, 38 to 40%, comes from city residents as tax. Okay, so you take 40 to 330, okay, and then you take that figure and pop it over to the other side of the ledger, and you know you're not talking the same tune anymore.
Right. And you know, I saw, like I said last week, I saw on the EMTA website that they've expanded routes in the county. Okay, so it's not like the EMTA people
Actually, that puts us ahead then, so I don't want to interrupt.
haven't heard, you know, realizing, okay, well, if they want it, they do put the money in, we'll work with them. And so they started adding these new routes and different things like that, which is good. And, you know, Andre was talking about, you know, the board appointees and how they're autonomous, you know, once they get on the board. Okay, and, you know, I don't know if you can see my face, but, I mean, okay. But let's say if these county councilmen, let's say if Carol Law, they start getting appointees, they're going to start appointing people from their section of the county, their own constituents. Okay, so eventually, I mean, my personal thing is one of the main costs in the county are school busing, schools. I mean, so eventually, I'm thinking they'll start adding routes in the county to supplement school buses. So the school districts can save a ton of money, put those back in their coffers.
Yep.
So technically, we're paying 40% of the freight for the county to drive their school kids back and forth, so all these school districts can save money. I mean, you can't take each kid to their house like they do. It would probably just be a high school, like the city.
Yeah,
City buses go to the schools, pick the kid, and then they go on their normal routes.
right. Hold your thought, John.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello?
Yes,
I don't mean to change the subject, but I have a question.
go ahead.
All the commercials that they have on where everyone's singing This Is Home and showing different things that go on in Erie,
Yeah.
I love them. Is there any way we can get copies of any of those, pay for them or whatever?
Well, I think you'd have to call the TV show. Is that 35 that's doing it, and 12, or?
I think it's 35, yeah.
Well, they're with 12 now, so if you would call them, I'm sure they would probably, I shouldn't say they would, but they were the ones that control those commercials.
I have sisters that live out of state, and I want them to see Erie,
Yeah.
you know, and most of those are beautiful scenery, and,
You want me to ask them and see what they tell me?
pardon me?
I can call them and see what they tell me.
That'd be a good idea.
I mean, I'm sure there's copyrights on that stuff, so
I know, I figured that, but I thought, I've got to at least ask.
I didn't want to tell you the best way of doing it, but you know, you could tape it yourself, but
I almost did that.
yeah, but I mean, I'll ask them if they have that on a format that they'd be willing to share, you know.
Yeah, even a couple of them, because they're just beautiful, and I would really like for them to see Erie that way.
Well, yeah, it's one of the few positive things that you see about Erie. Usually it's all negative stuff, you know.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah,
But,
sometimes we're our own worst enemy, you know, that.
I know.
I mean, I go out of town, I go to hotels and they put on the film of the town you're in. I wonder if we do the same at our hotels, you know.
I don't know. I don't know about this. I've only been here 10 years, and the day I moved in, it was not good.
Where'd you move from?
I lived in Meadville.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of. Used to go down there. I had reserve drills when I was in the Army.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to go there after, you know.
Yeah.
But it was a nice. Meadville was a amazing town at that time.
Well, when I moved here, it was St. Patrick's Day, and I don't know if you remember, but there was a man, he was supposed to be a preacher doing a movie or something, and they came to Mid-City Towers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Guns and things.
Yeah, they had they forgot to get a permit from the city.
Right, and that's the day I moved in here.
Oh.
I did not know that it was fake. Oh my God, I said, you know, that Emily Matson, I think her name is, she's the one that interviewed me.
Yeah.
I just told her, I said, you know what, I didn't know I was coming to Erie to die.
I don't remember you exactly, but I remember they interviewed some people.
Oh yeah.
And it was like nobody bothered telling the police in the city that they were doing a film, because what they would normally do would be to cordon off the area, you know.
Yeah, well, they were in our building and outside, you know, and it was like people were dropping like flies. I didn't know they were blanks.
Yeah, it was a movie about a bank robbery. Like.
Nice.
So
That's every day on the east side. I mean, that's...
It was scary back then, and now it's worse.
Yeah.
Right.
I just wanted to find out about that, so maybe I can, or maybe you can call and find
Yeah,
out.
I'll call and I'll try to. What do you got there?
There's one on YouTube. I don't know if that's the video. It's called This Is Home.
Yeah, that's it.
It's on YouTube.
He found one on YouTube, actually, somebody downloaded.
Just type in This Is Home Erie, PA, and it's
Do you have a
right
computer,
there.
ma'am?
No, I don't.
But if your family does.
Yeah, tell your family, go on YouTube and type in This Is Home.
Okay.
But what I will do is I'm still going to call them and ask them to see if they have any, like, discs available or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
I'll try to report it on the next show to you.
To spread around, you know, but I just want my family to see Erie, so the pretty stuff.
Well, yeah, you know, it's amazing. When we had the League of Cities here, the people that came here from the other side of the state that normally wouldn't come here, they were very impressed. You know what the first question we always received was? Is that lake doesn't look very big. And I said, that's because it isn't the lake. And they go, what do you mean? I said, no, that's the bay. They said, where's the lake? I said, the lake is on that other side of the land you're looking at. And they go, what's on the other side of that? And I said, Canada. And they go like, Canada the country? I said, yeah. So it is, I said, it's a very big lake, and you need to go on, on the other side to see the real lake.
Yeah.
But they were like, just seeing the bay, they were, sailboats and all that. And
I remember as a kid, that's what I thought too.
So they weren't the only dumb ones, really, because I had never seen any of that, and it is gorgeous. So
people love our waterfront. You know what? And I do hope, and as long as I'm on council, I will back any of the projects that can, make the Bayfront a better place.
But Kaz, I heard you on council the other night where I forget what you were even talking about. Maybe it was the bus thing.
Yeah.
But you did not vote for it or whatever. I was very proud of you because you stand up for what you think is right, even against all those people up there.
Well, thank you. So,
you don't let them intimidate you.
No, a lot of people don't call the show, but when I go out to breakfast, they hit me pretty hard.
Oh, okay.
So I try to listen to them, and then I got my mother. She hammers me too a little bit.
Oh,
that's
your biggest critic.
So I mean,
yes.
I'm not worried about my future. It's more important to vote what I think is right now. So
exactly, and you do. So,
but if I do stray, you call.
And thank you very much.
And thank you. But if I do stray, you call me, okay?
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
And listen next week. I'll try to get your answer.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.
I have a feeling if they really want to, they may sell them, or
It's possible, but it looks like somebody recorded it and uploaded it to YouTube, so there's one there at least.
You always have to deal with copyright issues, but
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
We're having our meeting tonight, our neighborhood watch meeting, if you're available.
Yeah, I'll try to get there. I have it marked down in my thing there.
Okay, maybe we'll see you. Thanks.
Yeah, let's hope the weather don't hold it down, right?
Right.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
With stuff like
That's a neighborhood watch tonight. Pardon?
I was just gonna say, with stuff like promotional videos, you'd think they'd give it away. You're promoting your city. Somebody should give it.
That would be a nice idea. Like they.
I saw that too on.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
What here home?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are because they update them once in a while.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize until they come here, like how big the zoo is, the Philharmonic,
Right.
the ballet companies, the sports.
Well, Erie has, for our size,
Too much, actually.
Well, maybe.
Well, I mean,
but we have something for everybody.
I mean, think about the winter, okay? Don't even count colleges and high school. You got a pro basketball team, a pro hockey team, and you don't think that nicks it. I mean, when you look at our population, which is going down in the county, and you figure, you look at a town like Allentown's got the whole valley's 800,000. They're AAA baseball. We're AA. We're in a nice sweet spot in baseball.
Right.
But you don't think that becomes hard and like on businesses when you look at us, we got zoos, philharmonics, ballet companies, we got opera companies, we got the colleges playing sports, you got high schools playing sports.
We have a lot of cultural activities.
And you know yourself, John, if you have to make a decision, what do? You sit there. They were complaining the other day about, I was laughing, I really was, about the wrestling tournament. What are we going to do for parking? I got to tell you, that's not the first time it happened. When I used to work for the parking authority, back when I was doing, way back when I was young and needed an extra job, there were times when the Playhouse, the Warner, the Civic Center had something going on, and not to mention sometimes Gannon. Where do you think people parked then? I mean, it was always a hassle. I mean, now it was magnified because we had a big tournament, but you know what? Welcome to the big city. To those people who always get mad when we build parking ramps or, and you look at they had a problem because Erie couldn't use their parking ramp because, geez, they were working. They had people actually working that day, and that's a good thing, though. That, it'd be a good thing to have congestion problems in Erie, because that would tell me we'd be...
The more parking problems we have downtown...
Is better.
Yeah. Erie,
We'll find a way around
nobody's ever, there's always somebody that's going to complain about something.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to be happy.
But the TV stations were behind. I was laughing. I'm going, come on, Go ahead, caller.
Kaz, that EMTA thing, here's my problem. We've got the county and we've got the city. They're supposed to be autonomous. I think Mr. Tan, if he had an ounce of courage, maybe, I'm taming my words, would stand up and say, listen, I don't need either one of you groups telling me what to do. Give me a lousy couple $100,000 and I'll run this bus authority the way I think I should and stay out of my business. Well, I'm building a $60 million facility down here and I don't need all this meddling from you people. Do your other jobs. There's so many things that are suffering in the city of Erie, and you're not handling that, and you're pissing away your time talking about buses.
I mean, I was, the way I looked at it was they okayed their agreement, okay?
Yeah.
We okayed it. We thought that was the end of it. Then we read about it. So to Mr. Flowers and Mr. Howard, I'm sure they'll know how to spell my name when they write me up. If they do, they never really do. They don't even acknowledge my existence. But here's what's amazing.
Well, yeah.
I got to read in the paper from Dr. Faust that they're disappointed. Well, they never once approached council, said there was a problem. Then they set up this meeting, which when we went to it, there was no meeting. It was a decision was already made. So, I mean, you know what? We never bothered the MTA. We made our appointments, and we left them alone.
Yeah.
If they want to go out into the county, fine. I don't know if people know it, but there is a limit to how much the federal government and state fund.
Yeah.
Anything outside that zone is strictly,
Yeah.
But
let me do my job. I don't know, what that guy makes, Mr. Tan, but hell, you're making him look stupid.
Well, what's going to happen is it's going to probably, where does it usually end up?
Courts.
Yeah.
So
and it's just crazy. And Kaz, getting back to you, you know what? If you have 1 ounce of an opinion and voice it, you're a contrarian to everything all these jackasses, that these people want to do. And they portray you this Erie next that the paper's trying to push. If you're not bought into everything they want to do and you have a different opinion, not being contrary to anything, just a different opinion, they paint you with a bad brush. And that's terrible. And we're never ever going to get where we need to be unless the thinking changes around here, Cass.
Well, I agree with you. I mean,
it just makes me mad.
I hear people.
I'm irate.
I hear people chastise everybody from Ed Kissel down to Father Jerry and all them. Everybody's got their opinion. You know what?
And you're entitled to them.
Yeah, you don't.
That's something. Ideas, asking people what they think. That's how you build a great city. That's how you build a great business. That's how you become great by absorbing other people's ideas that have been successful about things. These people that shoot you down if you just don't agree with what they think is okay, they're all crazy.
Hey, what happened about 230 years ago or 40?
Yeah.
A bunch of contrarians started a new country.
That's right. Yeah.
Geez, what if we had, what if we had been the status quo?
Kaz,
I'd have been wearing a white wig up here.
We'd have the Queen coming over for a visit every now and then.
One thing I learned about...
Yeah, it's crazy. But you got to hang in there. I know you don't have a give up in your vocabulary.
Nah.
Keep trying and, keep working hard. But, I was sitting there watching. I said, I got to say something. Those son of a guys are, and I want Mr. Tan to stand up and say, listen, I do have an opinion, and here's what it is. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. Maybe he wants to go with the county, but it's in the city. We spent a lot of money developing that area for the EMTA. I think we should have ownership and control over it, and then let the business people spread it out to the county and run other routes. They're the people that know best how to make money.
Yeah, we've never once told them that they couldn't do that, you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If the casino wants to give them money to haul more routes out there, fine, you know.
Yeah.
Here's my question. They keep talking about they got a declining population base.
Yeah.
The casino looks like it's, every time you read in the paper, they're challenging on their revenue, right?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? I mean, where's the county getting all this money?
Eventually, all the money is just going to dry up.
And 40% of the county, I still have to remind them that, remember this, all city residents are county residents.
Yeah.
But not all county residents are city residents.
Yeah. Oh,
And we are still part of the county. And if we're not, I want my money back.
Yeah.
I want my money back from the taxes I pay, and then you can reimburse all the citizens of Erie for that $6 million project over there.
Yeah.
You know.
And the newspaper is anything that has.
All right, but I'll let someone else call in, Kaz. I just had to get it off my chest.
Okay.
All right.
I'll let John have a little say here.
The newspaper, anything that has to do with regionalism, I mean, the newspaper is all over it. They want it. They've been supporting it for years. I mean, I'm a regionalism guy. I mean, I
am too. But you know what? You're not going to cherry pick our assets.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. It's got to be a beneficial, responsible regionalism. Like they had Wesleyville and Lawrence Park. Mm-hmm. They were talking, and I think Lawrence Park told Wesleyville, "Beat it, forget it." But what's going to happen when GE pulls out of here?
Well, you know,
gonna happen.
I was on the school board when GE went through the first round of Iroquois.
Yeah, and what they do?
And they were trying to find a district to hook up with.
Yeah.
And they were scrambling. I mean, I can remember there was we were even offering them East High School. You know, because we had a brand new high school at the time. Let
me ask you a question. Were you on the board, the school board, when Lawrence Iroquois was trying to force GE to pay more taxes, so GE tore the buildings down?
I might have been, but I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, so instead of GE paying the taxes, they tore the buildings down. So even if they wanted to expand, the buildings are gone.
Yeah.
Because the Iroquois would not reach some type of an agreement with them. So what they do, they tore the buildings down.
You know, I'm all for regionalism, but, you know, the casino money is an example of what happened. There's no share in there.
Here's another question for you, Cass. And actually, Bob Mursky touched on this a little bit. Let's say Erie, Mill Creek, Girard, let's say all of a sudden everybody's getting along. We understand the positives of regionalism. Let's get together and be one community. Who's going to run it?
Well, that's a big question.
Yeah, I mean, county council thinks we got it. I mean, you know. But
actually, it comes down to three big questions.
But Bob Mursky's, you know, it should be a metro government.
Yeah, it should be. But here's the question. Okay, and some gentleman or lady, I can't remember. I was reading in the paper. I always said there were three issues. Okay, you know, the chiefs and the Indians theory. Who's going to run that? Mm-hmm. Okay, because let's say I might want to give up my seat. You know. But now if you're a township supervisor and you're making, what are they making?
65, 70.
So maybe more, some of them, right?
Mill Creek starts out 60s.
The townships, well.
The supervisor.
Well, they all get a job. They're
the roadmaster, the secretary.
Are they going to give up that?
Hell no, they're not.
And then you look at, if you're like they said, you got 6 chiefs of volunteer fire departments in the various times. Now, maybe they don't make any money, but they're the big dog, and
right.
You know, there's pride and there's ego.
Right.
So who gives up their job?
Here's another thing.
But the schools are the big question.
Yeah. Here's another question. The county. Okay, they're paying. I talked to Andre with us a little bit after the show about the radio system. They're paying $19 million. I think that was the price tag, if I'm not mistaken, or there's more, but it's a lot for radios. Mm-hmm. So so the volunteer guys can talk to each other. I said, well, what this is a lot cheaper, and you can get the same communication level with that. But county's going to waste their money on that because the volunteer fire department guys want it. So
I think a lot of that though came, in fairness to them, after 9/11. It seemed like the federal government demanded this exotic system,
Yeah.
that was not, you can't do, you'd have to have some kind of separate cell phone signal,
Yeah.
because you don't want, in a time of emergency, you don't need everybody.
Well, correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. All right, I hear what you're saying.
I don't understand it.
How's the city going to benefit? We have all the communications, correct?
Yeah, but
So why would we're 40%, we're paying for the county guys to do that?
Well, I think it's once against that federal government. They wanted everything under like one thing, and they are right about one thing, because I was told this, that in not all cases can, like, say, if there was a natural disaster in this area, you could not have, like, Corey couldn't talk with Erie.
Right.
You would not be able to have the state police coordinated. So there's a lot of issues, but yeah, you're right, but this all should have come out a long time. How far are we? 911 was how many years ago? And we're still battling? And you're right, we had all the equipment here.
I mean, a natural disaster hitting Erie, like what?
Well, what they're thinking of is the unforgivable. Let's say, terrorism reigns again.
Okay.
Like, and they found out during New York that, you would think a simple thing is like New York City. They weren't even coordinated.
Right.
The boroughs and all that. And they found out that there was a terrible disconnect, that everybody thinks that, you watch TV and you go, oh, this is the FBI in Washington, we're talking to San Francisco police, everything's working out great,
To spend millions and millions and millions and millions?
Well, you know what that is. That's all. Government gets involved in anything like that. You could probably have private industry lay you out a plan a lot quicker, but then the ego is, who gets this, who gets that, who's in charge. We got like a what do you call it? Not a seer, a czar. We create another position. The czar of technology, or
it's, in my opinion, it's just the county guys that represent the county, the representatives from the council. A lot of their voters and supporters are involved with the volunteer fire departments. And one of the things when I was doing the Perry 200 was in the county, well, they all want that. So,
there's a little fiefdoms out there. There is.
Everybody has. Do you think we have problems? This is nothing. Mill Creek, their school board and their whole, it's gotten better now since Fagaski left. John Morgan's a good guy.
I talked to John the other day, and we talked about many of the issues that, and I said, I made John a promise. I said, John, I don't know if I'll see the day, but we will be merged, and it'll be out of necessity.
John,
it'll be because I said, you guys are getting old, okay? Right. You guys are running out of land. You're running out of your infrastructure. Will be going bad. You'll be in the same position we are. We were in a golden era once. We thought the world would never end. Erie, PA was 138,000 people. We were the big dog. We were one of the top 100 cities in the country. Not there anymore.
Well, Mill Creek, they grew, but it was irresponsibly.
Well, they grew off our demise was there.
They didn't have the infrastructure, the sewer system, the water systems.
And now they're finding out today that
now when 12th Street's underwater,
they were put in not with the
pipes. Yeah,
the pipes ain't big enough. How about this one, John? You go up to Mill Creek Mall, right?
Yeah.
And they're finding out what Allentown found out, Greenville, PA found out. This Peach Street that develops is a monstrosity. Right? Now you find out that I'll bet you in a few years you'll see a day where they put a barricade down Peach. You won't be able to turn left. That's what they do on many of these roads, because you get too many accidents. So, instead of, they always blame the city, goes, well, you guys never thought of this. Well, the city was a city that was built when you had horse and buggies, and now you had automobiles. Where are you going to expand? The buildings are already there, right? So when you built these new towns out in the suburbs, like Peach Street, now they're finding out the road ain't wide enough.
Right.
So instead of building roads behind that take off they're doing a little bit of that, but they're not handling it any better than we are. Now you're finding out, people tell me to go up to Oliver Road during a soccer tournament. Good luck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they got the same problems we had.
Well, that's just it. They put all the plazas in. They got all these nice residential,
but no plan.
And they're underwater. It's a major problem in Mill Creek.
Well, how do you like in Erie, when we had all the immigrants coming here years and years ago, look at our neighborhoods. They were crammed in. We jammed them. We put houses in the middle of the block. There was any place that was empty land, let's build. Mill Creek did that too, right? They didn't want to stop the great influx.
Didn't they put a lot of money in to fixing a lot of our water, replacing
I think it was during her term when they had to actually go and reline the pipes.
Yeah.
Well, they found logs in some of them.
In Mill Creek.
No, in Erie too, they found logs. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Kaz, John, and DJ. Kaz, how would I get an abandoned vehicle towed from the front of my unlicensed license plate removed, and it's parked on the street?
Where is it?
It's on the street. What do you mean? What area?
Yeah, give me the address and I'll tell the police on my way out.
Well, I guess there's a 6-month backlog, so...
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'll find out what the heck's going on. What's the address? Can you tell me that, or?
Oh, it's across from Tim Losey's Auto Service.
Where's Tim Losey's?
230 West 17th.
23rd West 17th?
230.
West 17th.
Yes, and it's across the street from the utility pole.
Okay, I'll take a look over there. I'll turn it in, okay?
What number do you turn it into? I called 870-1125 and no one answered.
I guess it's probably the non-emergency number.
Yeah, I'll walk down there and I'll give it to somebody right there in the office. Okay?
Okay, Kaz. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See, that's why that's the kind of thing that makes this show great.
Well, it's easy for me to go down there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that, this show offers to people. And, people don't realize that, if you didn't do this show, it probably wouldn't go on anymore.
I could easily stay home. I could go visit my grandkids.
Yeah, Indians will be coming on soon. You can spend
4 o'clock.
You're on today at 4?
4 something.
I wonder if it's rained out today.
I don't know.
I have a question. How can there be a 6-month backlog?
Well, that's what kind of...
We have that many cars that are abandoned?
Well, that kind of... When he said that to me, I want to check on that because...
If they gave out that number, I'd like to know if that's...
I had one up the street for me, and it took them... To be realistic, they have to chalk it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they check on it. It doesn't take 6 months usually.
It's probably just a lot of BS they got to put up with.
Unless the car belongs to somebody across the street. Maybe I wouldn't think that Tim Losey has it.
Our city is very lenient because in bigger cities,
he'd be gone.
Yeah, that'd have been out of there.
I remember they got in New York City. The private companies make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, they hook you, take you down to, I think it's a Hudson River dump, they call it.
Parking Wars. You ever see that show?
Parking Wars is awesome. Wars? I love that.
Good luck trying to find your car, too. You look at New York, right? Or Chicago. I mean, I watched Chicago. Mm-hmm. If it says no parking, what they did in Chicago was, it's kind of weird, but instead of putting delivery trucks on the side of the street, they put them in the middle of the street.
Right.
Like where the boulevard would be.
Yeah.
And they want them out quick.
Yeah.
If you park in a zone that's marked like red or some, San Francisco, same thing.
Yeah, New York does that too.
Yeah, they warned us that don't not abandon.
People don't. They see traffic here, and they lose them. But in the big cities, I tell you, we got it made here.
Yeah.
Even at rush hour.
I was privy to in Chicago my recent visit. Go ahead, caller.
It does not belong to Losey. It belongs to the neighbor next to me, and it was about a week ago. All 4 tires were flattened, and obscenities were written on 3 sides of the car.
Okay.
So I guess the owner pulled
I didn't mean to imply it was his, but sometimes, like if businesses have it stored there, temporarily, they might tell the police that. But I would have doubted it would have been, there for 6 months. So
aren't there car lots and stuff over there?
good
he knows whose it is.
He never any problem to the neighbors. He's a good businessman, but
No, I didn't mean to imply that either, but I said a lot of times, like, if you have a car repair place, they'll call the city and tell us, they have like a couple cars they want left there for a little while, But, no, I didn't mean to imply that, but we'll find out what the problem is, okay?
the problem is the neighbor. It's a rental unit, the brick house, and the landlord doesn't screen his tenants, so they throw trash over the fence, empty beer cans into my yard, and I don't want them to know that the one who's complaining about their vehicle. So I called the parking authority, and that's where the lady told me that they have a 6-month backlog of vehicles and abandoned vehicles that need to be picked up.
Wow, that's scary.
So she gave me the 870-1125 number, and no one answered there.
Yeah, you don't stay on the air too long. They'll be watching you, so I'll take care of it, okay?
Yeah, I don't think that the tenants are watching this show.
Okay.
Doubt they care. But they'll probably leave it. They may not have even finally paid on the car. Maybe that's why they don't care to have the 4 tires replaced, because that would probably be the biggest expense. Otherwise, the car is good, because none of the windows or lights were smashed. It's only the 4 tires.
Yeah, but I'll take care of it for you, though, okay?
Thanks a lot, Kaz.
Okay.
What if I just got a tow truck and just went around and picked up all the abandoned vehicles?
They'd probably come pick you up. In a squad car.
Unless you were authorized by the homeowner. Because we have two outfits on contract, okay? That's a city, when we have the legal right to do that, control our streets and everything. You the street you don't own, okay?
Yeah.
But if somebody parked on say inside your driveway, you would have the right to call someone. You would as a homeowner.
I just think it's ridiculous. You've got to wait so long. If there's not plates on it and it's abandoned and people are messing with it.
I got to find out what the reason is, though, because, we have 2 companies that are very active.
What about that truck that we saw with a tree growing out of the back of it?
Yeah.
Whatever happened with that? Did they pick it up?
Was there legit?
There was a truck with flat tires, and there was trees growing from the ground through the truck. This was on a main road.
I have to check on that one, too, so.
This is over on the east side.
That's another one I got called.
That's like art.
It was kind of artistic, but it also was not cool.
Well, I had one.
That's known as east side art.
I had one on.
I live on the east side, so I can make.
Yeah, you can.
There was one on Huron Street that was like that, and they were arguing with me upstairs, and I said, "Well, wait a minute. I'm looking at the car. It's got bird's nests in it. I don't think it's moving."
Yeah.
They're going to start a save the truck campaign, save the bridge. They're going to try to save that because it's like.
Well, you're allowed to have. I got to find out the law again. I think you're allowed to have one car on your property, but it can't look like it's not. It can't be like the tires flattened, and then you got a tree growing up through it. And
well, the city doesn't want to tow. They don't want to. You can't. You make one person happy, you tick off.
Yeah, but I think if the tow company tows it, okay.
Yeah.
After a certain time, they levy a fine on you.
Right.
And then I think
you have to pay per day.
There's a law in this Commonwealth, I think, that says after a certain time, they can put a claim in for the car and sell it as scrap.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you call mechanics lien or something. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, we're talking about towing cars.
Yeah.
4022 Briggs. That's right in the heart of Mercyhurst territory.
Oh, yeah.
There's a hydrant up there. I've been calling for 3 years now. This is my 3rd year anniversary. I call Mercyhurst, I call the police, I call parking, I call fire inspectors, and they block that fire hydrant all the time.
What time do they do it usually?
All different times. I live up here. I drive by there. I walk sometime.
Yeah.
And sometime it's gone, but 5 out of 7 days there's cars parked right in front of that hydrant. If they have a fire up there, they're not going to get to that hydrant. I'm telling you. And I explain that to different people at Mercyhurst College, and they just brush it off. They say it's up to the city to patrol that. And I guess the parking authority comes over once in a while when they're up there, but I don't know. They're parked there all the time I go by there.
Well, one of the things we're going to talk to the park authority about, it's in the near future, as part of their project with the new meters they want. We're trying to figure out a way to get them to have more people address the issue, especially up in Merciers. That's of a great interest to Councilman Mursky and I, that because we're from that area.
Right.
And not that I don't care about any other part of the city, but I've been hammered by the people, the neighborhood watches and everything up there that, they have to do something with that area by the colleges. Because, you got narrow streets and...
Of all the streets I travel during the city, I've never seen a car blocking a fire hydrant. I can't remember seeing it, except there. That's the only place I see it blocking, and it irritates me.
Yeah.
Because if they ever get a fire up there, somebody's going to lose their life or something because they can't get to the water. And their next hydrants are a block away. There's none on 38th and Briggs. It's at 38th and Reed.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be a big problem, and then they're going to blame the fire department for not doing their job right.
Is that a parking authority?
It could be police or parking authority.
It could be either one?
Yeah.
Told that every so often they go up through there, but they're not there all the time. And the thing is, the kids know when they go through. If they go through in the morning, then they're gone for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So they park there, and they know they're not coming back for 2 days, and they'll move it maybe. But once they go through in the morning, they'll park back there again.
That's why I hope the fire department calls me as a special liaison. I will pop the 2 windows out, put the hose through it, and then let it be loose so they get flooded.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
Yeah, God forbid there's an accident up there like that, but somebody's getting that's crap. If it's a college kid, university, they should send them a little warning, like.
Have the streets department go up there on the street and paint those lines. Big, no parking. Yellow lines they do around the city,
Yeah. I mean, that's just, people that park in front of hydrants, I'll use the term, they're stupid,
They do the odd and even parking up there now.
Yeah, well, sometimes, but even the odd even parking?
On Tuesdays. It's only on Tuesdays up there.
But the kids told me they didn't understand them.
Yeah. Well, these kids come from all over the country, but guess what? It's the same rule any place you come from.
Well, yeah, I read those signs, I understood them,
You don't block a fire hydrant wherever you come from.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you could check with the parking authority or somebody about that. I tried for 3 years now, and nothing's happening.
Well, the next meeting, I'll be meeting with them probably next week. I think they're meeting the end of the month.
Are you the liaison?
Yeah. I'll bring it up to them, and if that happens again, give me a call, okay?
I'll call you every day then, because it happens every day.
Well, go ahead. Let's try for a while, see what happens.
As a citizen,
I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Does he have the right to tag the car, as in put a note on the car? No.
Well, he can put a note on there, but
put a note on the car.
But then you got to remember, if you do that and you damage the car, you're playing with
I'm surprised because I know the parking lady drives through there a lot.
Well, the trouble up there is we don't have this is why council wants when we negotiate with them, we want to tell them, is there a way that we can help you subsidize somebody up there regularly? Like right now, they're pretty much downtown. In the old days, they had cars in every area of the city. That didn't work out because what happened was you didn't have the same issues everywhere. Like some parts of town, they really couldn't justify keeping somebody on duty. They were just circling, okay? So that's what happened. But now with the college, that's a definite problem.
Let me ask you a question. As a liaison,
okay,
when you go to the meetings, okay, what do you do there?
Well, you're allowed to listen in on everything except for matters of personnel.
Okay.
When they go in executive session.
Are you allowed to
talk?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I'm freely asked for my opinion during the meeting. In fact, they always ask us, when they want to work with council, how do we approach it? I will tell them some of council's concerns. They will ask me my opinion on different things. So,
do most council people, do they attend their liaison appointment?
Where possible, they do. Me, I have redevelopment. I missed my first one, but I will be there. Redevelopment's my big one, and so is parking authority. I'm on all the pension boards. I go to that one.
Right.
I'm in the water reserve account. I go to that one. As police liaison, it's a little looser. I will set up a meeting with the chief every once in a while.
What time do they usually have their meetings?
Who's that?
Board meetings.
The parking authority?
Any of them. I mean, is there
It varies.
Is it morning, afternoon, evening?
Parking authority is very early in the morning, like 8:30. Airport authorities in the afternoon more. They're all over the board.
Okay.
So as liaison, you got to you try to get one you can attend, or you have an assistant. in my case, like Mrs. Arrington's on my committees, so I can ask her to fill in.
Okay.
You know, like the police liaison, I simply, like I will go to Randy and I'll say, I'd like to meet with you, council, I'd like to meet with you, and we'll get there with him.
How's Mrs. Arrington doing?
She's in a learning process. She'll tell you that too. But she's very. She can turn out. I think. So I've asked Sonia to be on the show.
Good.
Yeah. So we're trying to coordinate where we'll get her on here, and she has a lot of interesting viewpoints.
That's good.
She brings something different to the table than we all do.
I remember she had a youth violence meeting. This is before she even ran at the Booker T. Washington Center, and myself was there, and the chief was there. And so, I mean, she has tried to do a lot of things.
Well, she's passionate, and I like I told her, I said, it takes you a while to really get your feet wet.
Right.
And she's learning quick, and I think...
I was very surprised that she won, though. I got to tell you, I was surprised.
Well, she worked hard.
Yeah, I mean, for her to not have any experience or anything like that, or never ran before... I was very surprised that she won.
I was very impressed with her. She actually asked, a lot of us for help. That's unusual. Usually, a lot of people, they will, they come in and they
think they know it all.
Well, yeah, and you don't. I didn't know. I mean,
right.
I thought I did, but I was
right.
I was wrong. But we got to get off the air. So
sounds good.
Let's hope.
So if they don't pull this one.
Yeah, hopefully this one don't get pulled.
Those new glasses.
You like them?
You are sexy in those.
That's my wife picked them up.
You're the white?
I don't need them for. I don't need them for distance.
She's got good taste.
But hey, John, thanks for filling in last week and this week. DJ,
last week I never saw that.
DJ, we got to bring more out of you.
Hey, I'm just here to listen.
He's feeling he's sick.
I've said to people,
if
somebody's here, I can talk. If I'm here alone, I go nuts. I really do.
Right. It's always good to have somebody.
Yeah, it is.
It's good banner backing.
When I tune in, I'm like, oh crap, Kaz is sitting there alone. I get in the car and
Mike's come over here. DJ's a good listener.
Yes, he is.
Listener.
He's got good listening skills.
I got good nodding skills. I'm like one of the bobbleheads.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's got good listening skills. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
You too.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see you.
Who knows?
I gotta go real quick here.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie Zone Government Access, Channel 9.